YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Antha Barber coming back at you with another haircut tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be doing a skin fade with a number 3 on top. So before every cut, I like to begin by brushing or combing out my client's hair. Shout out to Still 2 Comb for this dope comb you see me using. And all I'm trying to do is get everything to lay in its natural direction. So now that I got everything laid down, I'm going to go ahead and take my WAHL number 3 premium guard, and I'm going to come in with the lever closed, and I'm going to begin to knock down and remove all this bulk that you see. This is also going to be the desired length for my client, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I give everything a good even cut. So now that I got everything knocked down, I'm going to come in with my BABYLISSPRO Gold FX trimmer, and I'm going to begin to set and create my first guideline, which is going to be my bald guide. Alright, so now that my bald guideline was created, I'm going to come in and completely bald it out using my BABYLISSPRO Gold Foil FX02. And you're going to notice that when I get towards the top of that guideline, I am using that flick out motion. And I'm showing you right there on the screen, it's about a finger width that I like to leave. That way I give myself a good, clean, smooth transition from completely bald to stubble, because later that's what's going to help this blend pop. So right here I wanted to include this technique. If you're ever struggling blending out that shave line that you may have created when you were trying to give that clean transition, go ahead and flip your trimmer around and rake downwards. And what this does is it actually begins to blend it out. It doesn't completely knock it out, it'll blend it out. So it's a really dope technique to use. So right here I'm coming in with my BABYLISSPRO Silver FX with my lever fully open, and I'm going to begin to set and create my next guideline. You are going to notice that towards the front of his lineup area and where I'm going to be blending out, there's some difficult areas, and I'm going to talk about them a little when we get there. But I will say that aside from his lineup area being a struggle, right where I just brushed, his hair is a lot lighter in the density than it is here towards the back. So you're going to notice that I'm cutting a lot more right here in the back, particularly in the spot where I was just at. And right here in the front, it's not going to need it so much. So once I set that guideline in with my lever fully open, I'm now going to close my lever and begin to blend from the bottom of this guide right back up towards the top of this guide. And right here you could see what I'm talking about. It's so light that literally that just closing the guard basically blended it out. And now as I get here towards the back where the hair is a lot more denser, you're going to notice that I'm going to have to work at it a lot harder than I am towards the front. So anytime you run into difficult hair like this, my only suggestion is follow and trust the same system. You're gonna notice that I'm not gonna switch anything up at all. It's just gonna take me a little bit more time than it regularly would, because for some reason his hair is so dense back here in this area. Alright, so now I'm gonna open my lever a little bit more. Originally I came in with that lever closed, move that line up. So now I'm gonna open my lever a little bit more, and I'm gonna work my way up just a little bit more again. And every time that I do that, you're gonna notice that that guide's moving up with me, but that's okay, because that's exactly what I'm looking for. Because by the time I get towards the top of this guide and my lever's fully open, that guide will be completely blended out. And right here you can notice that literally I only need to blend out the back, because the side right there where it's light was basically blended out. So it's just crazy. If you pay real close attention to your client's hair structure and just the way that it grows, and the directions that it grows in, and the density and the light spots, and when you're really trying to perform and give your client that cut that they're looking for, you'll look out and pay attention for those things and approach them accordingly. Alright, so now that I have that blended out, I'm going to come in with my WAHL #1 color guard with the lever open. And just like I demonstrated to you right there, I am coming in with the lever fully open, and I'm coming in with the blade flat on the head. And I'm running the blade up to where I want the guide, and then I'm taking it off the head. And the reason why I'm choosing to only allow my guide to be this big is because clearly we could see that I'm already running out of room. There's not a whole lot of area to blend in right here, and my client doesn't have the greatest lineup right there in front. So I definitely want to start avoiding the front lineup area and start to leave that a little bit darker, so I am able to create that box shape up that he does like. So once I come in and clean up with the lever fully open, you'll see that I close my lever and I begin to blend from the bottom of this guide right back up towards the top of this guide. And even though this guide really isn't that big, it's still enough room for me to stretch my blend. And so that's one thing you need to get comfortable with, is trusting the system, but sometimes you gotta manipulate that system. And what I mean by that is, typically I'm always setting my guides with the same amount of space that I gave myself with the previous guides. And right here, clearly you could see that I'm going totally against that. Right in that front area where I just was, it's really hard to see on camera, but my client actually has like an indentation. So when I run into a situation like that, what I like to do is I like to basically graze the hair in that area. And what I mean by that is I like to basically like float my clippers across that hair. I don't like to dig in. I don't like to do any of that. And so right here where I just showed you, the one close tends to leave a little bit of weight behind. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on my WAHL half color guard and come in with the lever fully open. And I'm gonna begin to attack right above the weight that I see. So again, that's right above the weight that I see. And so what you're gonna see me do is I'm gonna use that fade down process to eliminate that. So what that means is I'm gonna close my lever as needed and work my way down until that guide's completely blended out. Alright, so now that I finally got that guide blended out, now I'm going to come in with my WAHL 1.5 premium guard with the lever fully open. And this time I'm not looking to set in any guide, so I'm going to use that flick out motion as I get towards the top. And what I'm really trying to accomplish here is now I'm trying to transition this blend into that length on top. So I know that length on top is a number 3 closed. So me using that flick out with that 1.5 fully open is somewhat like a 2. So a nice flick out is going to eliminate a lot of that chance of me setting in anything harsh that's going to be hard to remove later. So once I clean it up with the lever fully open, I'll then close my lever and just begin to try to blend out some of these dark spots that I see towards the bottom. Once I notice that some dark spots are still going to remain there, I'm going to go ahead and start to begin some of my detail work using my WAHL number 1 color guard. And I always like to come in with the lever fully open and begin to fade and fade downwards. So I'll close my lever as needed, just working out any dark spots that I see. Alright, so now that my blend's starting to really come together, I'm going to go ahead and start to finish this haircut up. And so I'm going to throw on my number 2 WAHL premium guard, and I'm going to clean up with the lever fully open, and I'm going to start to round this haircut off. And what I mean by that is, for this client particular, that boxy shape, it's not a good look for him. So we like to round the fade off. So I'm going to use that 2.5 to create that roundness. And then you're going to see that I'll close my lever as needed, just knocking down any dark spots or bulk that I might see, just so we get everything to really come together. So right here, I'm just gonna do some detail work, and basically you're gonna see me use every guard that I just used for this haircut, and I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna use it fading down. So again, fading down means coming in with your lever fully open, working your way down, closing your lever as needed until you perfect that blend. And so that's what you're gonna see me do right here. And I also like to come in with a different clipper when I'm doing my detail work. It just puts a different twist on the cut, and in my opinion, when I run these two as a pair, this clipper right here, this 357 caliber, it actually cuts a little bit shorter than those BABYLISS. And so I like to come in and clean up with this one and get everything just really nice and tight. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this beat run. And yes, why I say beat, I just wanna say shout out to Tito Beats. Again, as always, these beats right here, they really set a dope tone and vibe to my haircut tutorials. So I just wanna say thank you for that. I'm gonna leave his link in the description. Make sure you go check out his channel, subscribe, and let him know that your boy Ant the Barber sent you. Alright, y'all, so here's a look at the final cut. If you got anything useful out this, I ask that you smash that like button. If you're new to my channel, I suggest you stick around. It's only gonna get doper from here. I appreciate y'all. Be blessed and be a blessing. I'm out.